Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It's a weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, the 25th day of May, Geek Pride Day. I'm a little bit of a geek, and I'm okay with that. There's some things that I'm pretty geeky about. National Bath Bomb Day. I've never used a bath bomb. Have you? I know that was kind of a big deal for a bit.
Yeah, I have. They're not I don't know.
International
I need.
Plastic-Free Day, National Wine Day. Ooh, I know someone who just smiled for that. Amateur Radio Military Appreciation Day today. Well, I'm an amateur on the radio. National Italian Beef Day, and National Babysitters Day. All of those things. And then Sunday, the 26th of day, Don't Fry Day. Dracula Day, Earring Lovers Day, National Blueberry Cheesecake Day, National Cherry Dessert Day. Those are two things that are kind of weird to be together. And Trinity Sunday as well, this Sunday. All of that happening, and I've got a guest joining me, Lucinda Berry, and she's got a new book called One of Our Own.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
At bettercreditcards.com.
to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Yes, spring cleaning is definitely a drag, but let's not get carried away. Would you trade going on a yearly vacation to getting out of spring cleaning? 1 in 5 parents would. According to a new survey, 2,000 parent homeowners in the United States with kids under 17 were asked about the tedious work that comes with the arrival of nicer weather. Turns out that this season is not all rainbows and butterflies. 83% agree that spring cleaning is the most difficult season to keep their homes clean. Spring, rather, is. More than half, 54%, said they need to give up spending quality time with their kids because of spring cleaning. And 43% said that their child has complained because of the amount of time parents are busy cleaning. So
Wow.
Yeah, and for some reason, some
Other
said,
households must do a whole lot more than we do in the
I
spring.
dusted the other day with the leaf blower.
Actually, the house does need dusted terribly.
It's gotten pretty bad.
pretty bad.
We had our doors open, and then they were doing work up the road, and there was a
Yeah.
bunch of dust that came in. So I really did blow some dust out with the leaf blower. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that during the film era, the film was measured out and cut into 1 foot length strips? It contained 16 frames per strip. 1 foot of 35 millimeter film was just 1 second of time. The amount of seconds in a film naturally became known then as footage.
Oh,
that's how
cool.
many feet. The footage.
I
so
did
now you
not know that.
There you go. Well, now you do. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by Radiosavings.com. Katy Perry thinks a female should replace her on American Idol. Originally, she was saying Jelly Roll should be a replacement, but now upon reflection, she said, I think since Lionel Richie's here and Luke Bryan's here, Jelly would be next. That would be too many guys. I think that there should be a lady up here. So I understand where she's coming from there. And Steve, again, I don't watch the program, so it's not going to affect me in any way. But she does say, but we do love Jelly Roll. We want him to be on the show. Steve Carell is headed to HBO. I'm actually excited. The former star of The Office. He's going to lead an untitled comedy. He's going to lead the cast for this untitled comedy from the directors and creators of Ted Lasso.
Oh, I love Ted Lasso.
And an executive producer of Scrubs. So you take Scrubs and Ted Lasso and The Office. You mix all of that together. You got a lot of talented people.
Absolutely.
HBO handed out a straight series of 10 episodes, but they have not started yet. They were in a bidding war to get this. So
I bet.
I think they're going to have a hit on their hands, and I just hope that it lives up to what I think it's going to be.
Wow.
Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Pac-Man debuted this week in 1980. That's a good game.
Did it really?
Yeah. So it's been around a while. That's still one of my favorite video games, by the way. And attached to that, I have this. Researchers say that frequent video gaming can alter the human brain. I wonder how much frequent video gaming is. I mean, every day, a bunch of times every day.
I don't know.
And the world's largest plant, designed to suck planet heating pollution out of the atmosphere like a giant vacuum, began operating in Iceland recently. Yeah. Mammoth is the country's second commercial direct air capture plant, and it was opened by a Swiss company, Climeworks, like Climeworks. It is 10 times bigger than its predecessor, Orca, which started running in 2021. Direct air capture is a technology designed to suck in air and strip out the carbon using chemicals. The carbon can then be injected deep underground, reused, or transformed into solid products. What's more, the whole operation is powered by Iceland's abundant, clean geothermal energy. So
all I'm picturing is Spaceballs.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Now, I got to tell you, I'm going to be 100% honest. When I first said the world's largest plant, I was thinking like a plant that you plant in the ground.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure this is like
right.
a factory plant.
Yeah.
So halfway through this, it changed in my brain what I was even talking about. So,
wow.
yeah, when they're talking about the largest plant, I think it means like the largest factory.
All I can picture is Spaceballs.
Yeah, because they had a giant
vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. And they were had it flipped to suck, and then they're like, no, they switched it back to blow. If you've not seen Spaceballs, none of this means anything to you. But if you have, you're probably chuckling too. And don't forget to take your vitamins. All right, scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Lucinda Berry is our guest. She's the author of One of Our Own. Let's talk a little bit, Lucinda, about what made you decide to write this book.
Okay. Well, this book is an audio thriller, and it features a single mother. She's a lawyer by day, Felicia, and she volunteers at a suicide prevention hotline. And she gets a call that's from a young teenage girl that's frantic, very, very distressed. She's been a victim of a sexual assault that turns out was at a local house party. And Felicia is shocked, and her heart immediately goes out to the girl, and she ends up breaking protocol and gives this young woman her cell phone number, her personal phone number, and they start to communicate. And as they're communicating, details begin to surface that, people close to her may be involved. So if you have teenagers, it's a terrifying read because it definitely digs into the secret lives of teenagers for sure and sort of pokes at the question of, how well do we know our children, for one. So there's that.
So you mentioned it's an audiobook. Is there a regular version, like just a regular book, or is it only an audiobook?
This is not. This is just audio. But it's a really unique audiobook in that it's fully produced. And so what I mean by that is there's all sorts of different sounds beyond just the narrator. So there's the two narrators, but one of the things that I think is the best part of the book and that gives it the tension that it has is the calls. So you actually hear the calls, and you hear the traffic in the background. You hear both of their voices. You hear the static that you would hear on a deadline. All of that is happening throughout the book. So in a lot of ways, it feels like you're listening to a podcast or listening to a TV show.
Well, and here's
it's
what
really, really unique and exciting.
Well, here's what it reminds me of. Back in the day, before we had television, they had radio shows, and these old-time radio shows were exactly this. And I think it's cool that everything old is new again at a certain point. So now you can actually listen to a book. It's an audiobook. You can listen to this and all the sounds, all the different voices, and it just kind of comes to life. So I think it's really kind of neat that this almost feels like it's a slice of history.
Yeah, you know what? You are actually the second person now that said that to me in the last couple of days since it's been out. So yeah, somebody else said the exact same thing, but that's a lot of what it reminds them of. And I think that's very, very true.
And the cool thing about the power of sound is you can make this come alive, I think, better than you can as a movie or a TV show with a similar budget. Because if you don't have a big budget, we've all seen TV shows or movies that were kind of cheesy. You know, the special effects were not very good. Well, the thing that's nice about sound, if you can put together something that sounds good, your brain will fill in the pictures and it'll make it absolutely amazing.
Right. To these wonderful narrators. And I will say the narrators on this, so the two that narrated it were AJ Cook from Criminal Minds, who's the mother. And she just did an amazing job. Like, her voice could not have been more perfect for it. And, you know, again, I'm sure that's from her Criminal Minds background. And then Tessa Albertson was Chloe. And yeah, I mean, they just handled the role so well. It really, I mean, I was a little nervous, quite honestly, because I'd never done anything like this myself either. But it far exceeded my expectations. It's such a fun read and such a different way to experience a book and experience the story.
Again, visiting right now with best-selling author Lucinda Berry. Her latest book is called One of Our Own, and it's an audiobook. And I was looking, it's from Simon & Schuster, so in my mind it was a book. And I'm thinking book. And when you were saying that it's, you know, audio only, I'm like, but I think that's really cool. And I would love to see more of this. I think this would be a really neat thing to catch on.
Well, that's what they're doing. I mean, one of the things that we discovered during the pandemic that came out of it was there was this whole group of people that love audiobooks. And that trend really has only, you know, continued, you know. So, yeah, I think that we'll see more and more done just like this.
Again, our guest today, Lucinda Berry, her book, it's an audiobook, One of Our Own. It's available now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
at bettercreditcards.com.
bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you've drilled a tunnel straight through Earth and jumped in it, it would take you about 42 minutes to get from one side to the other. That's how far that is. I'm pretty sure that's never going to happen, by the way, just so everybody knows. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Los Angeles baseball team name translates directly to the Angels. So Los Angeles Angels, that's the baseball team.
Right.
Literally means the Angels.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
May 22nd is the least common day to be born. The most common birthday, by the way, is September 16th. Man, you know what would have been really cool? If I would have read that on May 22nd. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You could swim through syrup just as fast as you could swim through water, even though it's many times thicker. That doesn't seem normal.
No, that doesn't seem right at all.
Final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Vanilla is used to make chocolate. That's kind of cool. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. When people were asked what they buy without telling their spouse, clothing came in at number 1. This came in 3rd. What is it?
Plants.
No. Food. Guilty pleasure snacks. Why wouldn't they have said what came in 2nd? Clothing is number 1. Food is number 3. What? Anybody else wonder what number 2 was?
It's definitely snacks for you.
Yeah, probably. Don't look in this drawer, by the way. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. This comes from France, where their post office has released a scratch and sniff postage stamp to celebrate the baguette, once described by their president as 250 grams of magnificent perfection. I'm sorry, of magic and perfection. The stamp, which costs 1.96 euros, which is like $1.41 US, depicts a baguette decorated with a red, white, and blue ribbon. Upon scratching it, users will detect what is being called a bakery scent. It was launched May 16th, the day of Saint Honore, the patron saint of bakers and pastry chefs.
That's kind of fun, really.
It is kind of fun. Here's what I smell when I scratch it. I smell government waste. Seriously, guys? Come on. The postage stamp has to cost more because of all this extra stuff they're doing. So now here's the thing. I want to make sure you understand. This is not the only stamp available. So you could probably still buy a regular stamp-smelling stamp. But again, I understand people think it's neat. I think it's weird. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Got another list sent to me. It is the funniest tweets of the week from women. Somebody told me this comes from like a website. I think it's Twitter. I'm pretty sure. The funniest tweets of the week. All right. How about this? We'll do this one. My mother has a medical podcast where she self-diagnoses her ailments. It's called My Voicemail, and it happens every morning at 9 a.m. Our daughter has that, by the way.
Yes.
She always thinks she has something.
She does.
How about this one? Sometimes when I don't want to pay the $100 therapy copay, I go to my friend's house and I talk extra loud until her husband, who's working on his psych PhD, comes in and says, "Do you mind if I say something?" And we'll do one more. Engagement photo shoots are so funny a concept. Like, girl, we believed you. That's true. Like, I don't believe you're engaged unless you have photos. I actually had a very funny comedian friend of mine talk about how when they do these surprise engagement photos,
Surprising.
They'll do it where they'll have a photographer come so they catch the moment you're proposing.
Yeah.
But he's like, you know how weird that is? Because wouldn't your girlfriend just go, "Why is that guy following us around?"
Right.
I thought that was funny. He had a way better joke about it, but I thought it was fun. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. Comes your way courtesy of RadioSavings.com. Our quote is from Josh Billings, who says, "Be like a postage stamp. Stick to one thing until you get there."
Oh, I like that one.
I like that too. That's great, Josh Billings. And if you want to be like a scratch and sniff postage stamp, you have to go to France. We talked about that early in the program. They have a scratch and sniff postage stamp.
I doubt anybody's sniffing
that
those
smells
stamps.
like baguettes.
It's very interesting.
It is interesting. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of RadioSavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I think this is a really cool story. It comes from Norfolk, Virginia. A single mom's life is transformed by her boss's kindness. So I think this is really cool. Wednesday, a business owner gifted her employee a new vehicle after discovering she didn't have one. Beth Brownson, an employee at Homebridge Healthcare Agency, was surprised by the CEO with an SUV. She learned that Brownson, a single mother, had been relying on Uber and Lyft and even walking to get to work.
Cow.
She felt compelled to help. She quickly arranged to purchase a vehicle and presented it to this young lady at the office. Bennett praised Brownson's dedication and positive attitude, noting she's always at work on time. She's never made excuses. She shared with 13 News Now, who did a TV story about this, her own experience of being unsupported in her career when she first started. Now she's the CEO.
That's fantastic.
She said, I had moments where I didn't even feel valued where I was. And I opened up my own company, and it was something that was very important to me. So I think that is really, really cool.
Absolutely,
I love
it
that.
is.
And, there are times where you see stories that just kind of get you choked up a little bit. And she didn't have to do that. She could have done so many other things, but she chose to do something.
Yeah, that's super, super cool. I love it.
And very,
what a great employee who's still getting to work, even though she's got an Uber. That had to have been extremely expensive.
Well, and you could come up with excuses. And like they said, she was never late. She never came up with excuses. She always got here. And that's why the boss was like, you know what? That's awesome. I'm gonna reward that. So
love it.
Very, very cool. And again, if you would like to see the story and the video and all of that, I do have a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.